Hello children, how are you? Fine. Now let us come to our online video classes. So far we have discussed to you about the transportation of water and dissolved mineral from one part to other part of the body. And the material whichever is transported to the leaf, what is the purpose? To support the plant for preparation of food. Where it will be prepared? Within the leaf. Now, the food is prepared only in the leaf, whereas it has to support to all part of the plant body, especially the excess amount of food which is to be stored either in the fruit or in the modified underground stem or in the form of root itself, modified root itself. As you see, in case of radish, the part we take, what is it? It is a modified root. Why? What happened here? The excess of food in the form of starch is stored within the root itself. In case of potato, it is a modified underground stem, where the excess of food is stored in the form of starch in a tuberous form called as potato, or say ginger in the form of rhizome. Fruit, what is it? It is also the excess of food stored here. Is that clear? So, in case of, just try to compare, in case of transport of water and mineral, the movement was always from soil through root to stem to leaf. This was the direction of movement, only in one direction. So, water is transported in one direction only. Is that very clear? But the food so prepared has to be transported from leaf to even some part which is present at the tip of some, say, lower plant, where auxiliary bud or the terminal flower bud which is to be given a flower, where also the food has to be transported. The food has to be transported to the root also. So, the food from leaf has to be transported to upward, to downward. So, in all the direction the food has to be transported. So, the basic difference is, where in case of water transport, it is in one direction, that is upward direction, but in the case of transport of water, what do you call as translocation of solute, in different direction, from leaf to the root or to the fruit or wherever it is in need. In other way we call from source to sink, from source to sink. Sink means where it is consumed, either consumed or stored. Source means where it is produced. What is the source? Source is the leaf. And sink is other part where it is consumed or where it is stored. Is that very clear? Now, question is how it will be transported. It will be transported, first of all, the food so prepared in the form of glucose. By photosynthesis. This glucose will then convert into sucrose. This sucrose are then actively loaded. Where it has prepared? In the leaf. It is then actively loaded. Try to understand very clearly. Actively loaded. Where? To the to the phloem tissue. Phloem tissue again comprises, I told you earlier in my previous class, it is comprised of sheath tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. So it is, first of all, it is actively loaded to the companion cell. This is the companion cell. The food so prepared in the leaf, earlier it is produced in the form of glucose, then glucose converted into sucrose, and it is this sucrose are then actively loaded to the companion cell. This is the companion cell. Companion cell. Companion cell. These are the sheath tube. Sheath tube. Sheath tube. Let me correct it. Sheath tube. SIEV. Sheath tube. So this is a sheath tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma. So the food so prepared are actively loaded to the companion cell first. For this active loading, it has to utilize energy, and that energy will be supplied by ATP. By the expenditure of ATP, the food will be loaded here. That means by active transport, by the mode of active transport. Once it is loaded here, that is the companion cell. From companion cell, then the food will be, the sucrose will be moving to where? To sheath tube. Sheath tube. Now it is full of sucrose. What is it? So if I rub the sheath tube here, what is that? What has moved, came to here, loaded here? That is sucrose. Sucrose. Okay. Now, due to loading of sucrose here in the companion cell, from companion cell to the sheath tube is just like a tubular structure, just like a pillar or column, having perforation. So many sheath tubes are end-to-end joined to form a continuous channel. The individual sheath tube connected with the adjacent sheath tube bindings of, there is a, this is called sheath plate. Sheath plate, which is having perforation. These are the perforation through which from one sheath tube it can pass to the next sheath tube. So the perforation of the plate. Now once it is loaded here, there is increase in concentration. So high concentration now. High concentration. Due to increase in concentration of sucrose within the sheath tube now, this is the sheath tube is nothing but an element of xylem. Sorry, phloem. Okay, sheath tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, these are all phloem, part of phloem. Phloem is very closely connected, means remain side by side with xylem. So xylem tissues are here. Suppose this is the xylem vessel. This is the xylem vessel. This is the xylem vessel. Suppose this is the xylem vessel. Having teeth. Having is a xylem vessel which I have shown you in my previous class also. Now, xylem vessel is full with water. Because of increase of concentration of sucrose, now the water molecule will move passively to the sieve tube. Is that clear? So when the water is passively moving from adjacent xylem vessel to the sieve tube where the concentration of sucrose is very high, so after absorbing the water, now the pressure is mounted. Because of absorption of water, now sucrose in the form of sucrose solution now is under high pressure. Okay? Now the adjacent part of the sieve tube where there is no such storage of sucrose, so pressure is less over here. So from here the sieve tube, now the sucrose in soluble form moving to that part. Is it very clear? In bulk, that is called bulk flow hypothesis. Okay? And how it is from source to sink. Likewise, from that part where it is now high concentration of sucrose solution to adjacent part or cell or tissue where there is low concentration of sucrose, that is solute, otherwise we call, then from here it will be loaded here. So like that way, from source to sink, that is where it is prepared in the leaf. After, again, try to understand. In the leaf, it is food is prepared, there is glucose is prepared, glucose has been converted into sucrose. Sucrose is actively loaded to where? Loaded to the companion cell. From companion cell, then it is reaching to the sieve tube. How it is reaching? By means of active process, active transport by the expenditure of ATP. Is that very clear? Now once it is reaching the companion cell's concentration gradient is increasing, so it is drawing water from the adjacent xylem tissue where, that is xylem vessel which is running parallel to this sieve tube. From xylem vessel the water enters and the solution, the pressure is now building, and as a result from source the high pressure of solute is moving to the other area where the pressure is low of what? The solute pressure. In that way, from source to sink, the food is moving, and the sink may be the root, sink may be the fruit present at one tip branches, sink may be the flower present at the tip. Is that clear? So this is all about the mechanism of transport of phloem. I hope you have got a very clear concept about transportation of food material by virtue of phloem. Is that clear? Thank you.